for the VODs, guys. They will be uploaded to YouTube a little bit later. And we need to do the proper introduction. So, good afternoon, good evening, good day, hello, wherever you are in the world. You're joining here for round 3 of the ESL Champions Club. We're going to be following the Portuguese team of Colld Gaming against the German side of logiX. We have all 10 players locked in. I'm just waiting to hit the start button. And we're just waiting for the players at the moment. I'm going to kill a little bit of time. Going to be just waiting to see who's going to be logging in. This particular game, if we jump back to the screen, is going to be slightly higher ELO rating. An average of around about 1,700 for the Portuguese side, and an average of around about 1,900 for the side of logiX. 2,000, 1,900, 1,900, 1,900. So significantly more ranked games being played in and amongst these 10 players. And generally, that does mean they have a slightly better grasp of the game. I might be seeing a bit more aggression, as we've noticed quite recently. And for the players who are busy chatting or want to know on chat, you'll be able to find the VODs up on youtube.com/quickshottv. To stream 3rd round. Can stream 4th. Ready. So we're just waiting for the players at the moment. Sorry about the delay here, guys. And it looks like we have jumped into Champion Select. So, yeah, Norsey, if you need a quick break, take a runner. I'll look through the champions really quickly. And for anybody that is on chat, let the guys know it is logiX versus Colld on stream. And we'll let everybody know that the game is coming up soon. Tiago Vasque, Portugal. I got a good friend in Portugal, actually. He plays in a rock band. But I couldn't tell you the name of it because it's in Portuguese. So, with regards to who do I think is a better player, neither you, Nep, or Norsey is as good as me. So that's all that matters. So, looking at it at the minute, wearing the blue trunks from Portugal, Colld Gaming, they've banned out Leeson and Rise. And in the purple trunks, the German side of logiX. Their first ban is Ari. So that's quite interesting. Ari and Rise, Rise is considered the counter to Ari. And logiX just not wanting to deal with Ari. Huge poke, huge damage, and of course a ranged taunt. It's very, very difficult to deal with. It's very frustrating to deal with if you get hit in the head with it. So I don't blame them for banning that champion out. Second ban is Shen. Quite interesting because, yes, Shen still is very, very strong. Don't get me wrong, but he's seen a few small nerfs, a few small balances rather. That's a better way of saying it. And he's not dominating quite as hard as he used to. I think part of the reason teams want to get rid of Shen from the champion pool is to pretty much get rid of the split pushing. That's the real power of Shen. The fact that he can be in one lane and not only instantaneously join a team fight, but join a team fight and shield a carry. So it's a very, very powerful ultimate. I think it's called Aid Another. I'd have to double check that name. Warwick being the next ban from blue team. Portuguese side not wanting to deal with a lane wick, not wanting to deal with that sustain and the his ultimate infinite duress either. So Technolink, I wouldn't say it was that bad. I mean, with regards to the previous round, Technolink was playing for the side of Destiny Gaming. You guys did well. It was only once you hit the team fight stages, it was quite apparent, just a lack of coordination, really, a lack of focus. And that was what ended up costing you guys the team fights. But we can chat about that on IRC a little bit later. First pick, Instalock Janna. I'm so surprised. This has become the new overarching meta. This has become the most popular thing. Sledge is by far the best ESL admin. Absolute legendary. Nachtkind is also pretty epic as well. I apologize. You are a beast. You've also let me... allowed me to stream and got me involved with the Go for LOL, so thank you to both of you guys. And, oops, sorry, I was hoping you guys wouldn't notice that. I had to get some food a little bit earlier. But, yeah, I've got a lot of love for both Nacht and for Sledge. You guys have been totally awesome. First picks for logiX, Soraka Graves. It is going to get locked in 1 second. That's the timer ticking over. And you do tend to see Soraka Graves being a slightly more passive bottom lane. Graves does get burst once he picks up his BF sword or, a couple of Doran's blades. But generally, they tend to be on the back foot. They tend to wait to finish off those Infinity Edges and Bloodthirsters, and then go for the kills, and then go for the aggressive pushes. Well, I'll be really happy to see if we can get Miss Fortune into this game. I'm a big fan of Miss Fortune. She was the first AD carry I really focused on when I was learning to play AD. And bullet time, a well-placed bullet time is just fantastic. That maniacal laugh from Miss Fortune, it's really, really awesome to see. So let's see what happens now. A Janna Miss Fortune is going to be quite difficult to deal with for a Soraka Graves because Miss Fortune's going to be able to activate her Impure Shots. Impure Shots is going to reduce healing on Graves. And not only does it reduce healing, it increases her attack speed. And if she puts levels into it, it also deals additional magic damage. Combine that with a Janna Eye of the Storm, and then the knock-up and the slow. And I think a Janna Miss Fortune is going to beat Graves Soraka, at least when it comes to a boxing match. Of course, if it comes to a burst match, Graves is going to completely melt Miss Fortune and Janna. And to WW54, who is my girlfriend, hello back. Lock in for logiX. We now have Kennen and Nocturne locked in. Kennen could go top, Kennen could go mid. We'll just have to see which lane he wants to play. And of course, Nocturne is in the jungle. I heard some clicking, so is that a Norseman back to join us?
Norseman is back.
Yeah, welcome, welcome. So we almost finished the champion select. Colld Gaming versus logiX Gaming. Portugal versus Germany. That sounds like it could be a football match, doesn't it? Portuguese and the Germans.
Does indeed.
Well, we'll have to see. I'm still convinced a Janna MF is going to beat a Soraka Graves purely because of that Impure Shots reducing healing. So at low level and until Graves actually gets some attack damage, I put my money on Janna MF. So let's see. We've now got a Vladimir lock in, or not locked in, Vladimir pick, and Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser is very interesting. That's not one you see every day. We were trolling a few people yesterday. Mord is the best. Mord is the legend. So Norsi, I'm sure you'll be happy to seeing that Mordekaiser, his mace of spades.
Do you like that Mordekaiser? Galio is a really good counter pick, actually.
Well,
for the Mordekaiser and the Vlad.
Don't you think that's going to be... these are really boring lanes that we've got set up now. Well, at least mid and top lane, I think. Because...
I don't know, I think... I would really, really actually like to see a Mordekaiser Galio fight. I haven't seen that in a long while.
It's interesting as well. I read on Reddit earlier today that Galio had actually received a small nerf. I'm not 100% certain whether or not it was confirmed on the EU.League of Legends site, but apparently his Righteous Gust and Resolute Smite, or whatever they're called, had received some small damage reductions. So we'll just have to see what happens. I do think a Mordekaiser versus Galio is going to be boring as hell. It's just going to be one champion killing a creep of waves. Not a creep of waves, a wave of creeps. Wow, that was terrible. And then the other champion doing the same. So
I don't know. I think if they play aggressive, we could see some really good fights. I would be keen to see an aggressive Galio versus an aggressive Mordekaiser. Flash Ignite on both of them as well.
I think Kennen could also do very well against the Vladimir. I know for a fact Kennen does very, very well with the auto attacks, with the stun, the magic damage. If Kennen keeps jumping into the face of a Vlad, this is of course assuming Vlad goes top, Mord goes mid. In the event that that is the case, I think a Kennen can probably end up winning that lane. While we're trying to kill some time, let's quickly go back to the ladder. Do a refresh on this. We are in the third round. So we're going to see if any of the recognized teams, PWDT are in as well. If they win round 3, I'd love to get in their fourth game, because I have streamed them a few times. This is the match we're busy watching, logiX versus Colld. A few teams already into the fourth round. A25 facing off against iHad. So maybe we'll check back with A25 a little bit later and see what's happening with their match. So this is round number 3 of the ESL Champions Club League or Cup. We're in the countdown phase for round number 3, so it pretty much just means we're going to kill 3 minutes of time. And for the few guys who are still hanging around, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for stopping by. My name is Quickshot. You can follow me, facebook.com/quickshot, QU1KSH0T. Some likes would be greatly appreciated. And if you have played in any previous matches, we will be uploading the VODs to YouTube. If not tonight, then during the course of tomorrow, I'll put my YouTube link on the chat as well. So you'll be able to jump in there. So where's the money, guys? Who's going to win this? Norse, looking at the champs, who do you think is going to be able to win this game just based on Champion Select?
Based on Champion Select, I think logiX have a lot more burst. If a Galio ult into a Kennen ult while Graves and Nocturne just knock away, and then Soraka keeping all of them alive, I think it's just really, really strong. And then, but saying that, I don't know, if the Janna can stick out and interrupt the Galio ulti with her Eye of the Storm, or sorry, with her Whirlwinds, and then maybe knock the Kennen away with the ulti, or keep the Kennen at bay. I think we definitely have a very tanky game this game in comparison to the other ones where we've seen.
Yeah, that is going to be true. Galio is going to be able to survive quite a lot. Keep in mind, logiX is less tanky than Colld Gaming, hey? I mean, Shyvana's super tanky naturally. She doesn't even need items, whereas Nocturne does. Nocturne needs to pick up Frozen Heart, needs to pick up a Phage, pick up some defensive items. You've then got Mordekaiser and Vlad, who are also very high HP tanky champs.
Rockstar 2K11 actually does have a good point there in chat. No CV on logiX.
Keep in mind, that's yes and no. True, there's no CV, but CV has completely fallen away at the higher levels of competitive play for a while. I mean, it's been a good 2 months now that teams have been playing without CV, and it was because of the cooldown increase. Looking at skins, my money's with the Portuguese. We've been guessing it. We've been looking at it so far, and the Count Vladimir Epic Awesome Bloodlord Monster of Epicness skin is by far one of the coolest in the game. And there it is there on Dreads. And Hextech Janna as well. Pretty good cleavage with this one, actually. Just saying.
Are you allowed to say that with WW45 in chat?
It's WW54, first of all.
54,
and
my apologies.
And yes, she actually says hello. She was messaging me on Skype. Hey babe, how you doing? 108 guys on the stream. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for stopping by. This is round 3 of the Champions Club. logiX wearing the purple trunks, facing off against Colld Gaming in the blue trunks. And we're pretty much getting straight into this one. No break from round number 2. We're going to have to see what happens. We've got some predictions already saying that they think logiX is going to walk away victorious because of the superior experience and high number of games played. But they didn't win the skin war, guys. Remember that. The skins mean everything. And because they didn't win the skin war, that's maybe who's going to win it. I notice I am getting some FPS lag, guys. I do apologize about that. This will be the last game, or there'll be a break between game number 3 and game number 4.
Mordekaiser is sitting very far forward.
Yeah, this is a very aggressive Mord. He does have flash ready, though, and he's seen them crossing, so he would definitely have called this to his team. Let's drop the scoreboard so we can try keep tabs of this, see what's happening, see where they're going. This is a very aggressive evade from logiX. Pushing forward, opting not to go for it, though, opting not to press home the fight. And looks as though champions are going to just settle into their default lanes. And it looks as though Colld and logiX now just playing defensively. We've got a pretty nice ward there from Soraka. Going to give vision. And anybody know if anyone's moving to steal stuff or not. I'm just spamming on IRC really quickly, guys. Just letting them know that the game is up and live. Maybe get a few more viewers. And yeah, we were instantly invited into the next round, guys. So what I'm going to do is immediately after this game, I will get Norseman to jump into round number 4. He'll sit ready and waiting. And then he'll be able to stall for me. Just give me 2 minutes or 3 minutes just to reboot the stream and reboot the PC. I can just see still just a little bit of graphical glitching here. I think it's just the PC's maybe been on for a little bit too long. Been on Skype, been recording to the hard drive. Just struggling a little bit. Really good pull there from Mordekaiser. Using those Mace of Spades, his W. Pulls the red buff. along with the Eye of the Storm from Janna. It's going to be enough to pick up the kill onto the red buff. Small bug. I don't know if anybody noticed it there. The smite was in fact used on the smaller of the golems instead of the bigger one. And as predicted, the lanes are going to shape up exactly as we thought. Galio in the middle versus Mordekaiser. Vladimir on top versus Kenan. With regards to any lag, if you guys could let me know, does it appear to be FPS lag or is it stream lag? Just so you guys know, because I am getting a little bit of FPS lag on myself, so I think that might be the cause of it. I do apologize about that, but I'll do my best to fix it as soon as this game's over. Norse, you still there?
I am indeed still here. I'm just trying to decide who to root for in the middle. Two of my favorite champions. I think that's where my focus is going to be most of the game. I think Mordekaiser is pushing a little bit too hard for the early game. But he is forcing Galio to use those pots at an alarming rate, so it is serving a purpose.
Yeah, if we bring up the scoreboard on the bottom, Galio has no pots remaining at 3 minutes. Mordekaiser's down to his last pot though, so that could be the cause of it. Having a look in the different lanes now.
Trying an invade on the Nocturne. He does have his red and has gone back already, but Mordekaiser taking the big Wraith.
Yeah, I think they were trying to steal the red buff, but Nocturne had already picked it up. So that's probably the reason they were, able to, or the reason they fell back. Looking at the bottom lane, Graves 21 CS to the 19 of Misfortune. And let's see what Misfortune's leveling up, if she's opting to go for the impure shots or if she's going for the double up. So 2 points to double up at the minute. And if she can get her positioning correct, double up will of course bounce on the target and hit a target directly behind whoever it bounces off. So if they bounce it over on this creep over on the left hand side, it would hit either Graves or Soraka. And if you start putting a whole bunch of points into that, it's going to deal pretty decent poke, pretty decent damage. The problem is, of course, it is a 75 mana cost, and with a mana pool of only 370 mana, it goes down very quickly. Nocturne coming into the bottom lane, he is double buff, blue and red. Duskbringer is going to go across, waiting actually for the last few seconds, not managing to hit Janna, and taking 2 turret shots to the face, and forced backwards. I think if he'd opened with that Duskbringer, got the movement speed boost, maybe would have helped a little bit more. And thanks for the feedback, guys. Getting some comments there in chat. And maybe even just be Twitch on the server side. I've also got to remember, I've only got 100 viewers, so sadly, I don't get prioritized when it comes to bandwidth. We've got now Shyvana coming into the top lane, trying to put pressure down, but nothing coming from it, and using her smite actually on one of the creeps. That is, of course, because she's got a point into the improved smite, and look at this damage on the bottom lane here. Misfortune and Janna really, really low. And Misfortune doing the right thing, do the smart move, falling back, not losing the creep wave. Picking up some CS here. Let's have a look how she's doing. Under the turret, 31 to the 34 of Graves. So, slight difference there, but you can probably attribute that to the fact that Nocturne obviously came in and put some pressure down on the lane. 100 guys that are hanging around. My name is Quickshot. In the background is Norseman. I know I'm talking over you a lot. I'm just going to jump in there if you've got something to add, brother dearest.
I'm just listening and learning for the moment. I'll add some comments in. I'm just glad you're not trying to say A25 for life anymore.
Yeah, well, the gangsters aren't around anymore, so we've got Nocturne just wandering into lane. This seems very strange to me. You notice the aggression, though, from Kenan. I mean, that was what I was trying to say. Kenan, lightning rush in, uses his electrical surge, uses those thundering shurikens. And he's just manhandling Vladimir at the moment. But it's not really affecting him. Still 35 CS for each champion. So they're both doing pretty well. Lots of pings going down on the map.
Galio looks like he's going bottom for a gank.
He's got his ultimate up. And he's a bit late. Because now Misfortune is already recalled. But this means...
waiting.
Yeah, I think he was trying to do a turret dive. They're waiting for this creep wave to get up here. And Galio's going to tank this turret with his Idol of Durand. And this is going to be first blood onto Janna. Shyvana is right there. She's going to have to turn her oppression really quickly. And wow, Galio not even needed. He does apply some damage with at least one of his one of his little gusts, but doesn't pick up the kill and didn't even need Idol of Durand. And that just came down to some really unlucky timing on behalf of Colld Gaming. Misfortune fell back to get some health. She picked up a double Doran's as well, so feeling a bit under pressure, wanting to get that early advantage. Bonus 160 health in total, a little bit of life steal, and of course
Mordekaiser in stealing the rates off cooldown from Nocturne. Really, really good move from Mordekaiser. It's free farm, and it means that you aren't spending all of your time in lane just constantly pushing, so you don't get caught out of position.
Yeah.
Nocturne looks like he's about to give Galio blue. They have just been CV'd.
The thing that's interesting about this Mordekaiser Galio lane is even if one lane pushes really, really aggressively, the other champion is just going to clean the whole wave. I mean, look at this Mace of Spades from Diof. He's going to throw it on just a couple of seconds. You'll see how much damage. Ooh, huge chunks of damage from that Righteous Gust. Ultimate from Nocturne coming in, and he's out of range. Nocturne pops the Paranoia. Firefly wanting to dive onto the middle. Wanting to dive onto an Idol of Durand taunted Mordekaiser, but no ultimate came out from Galio. So that was a really basic move. Buckshot, huge damage going down. Exhaust has been applied onto Misfortune. She's going to keep running as best as she can. Still saving the Summoner's heal. Not feeling that it's necessary. Hasn't used her ultimate. And Graves blew everything there. Graves popped Buckshot. He popped collateral damage. And we've now got Galio overextending. He wanted to come in for that gank earlier. Opting to run backwards. This is a red buff on Shyvana, so she's going to be able to keep putting some damage down. Soraka's moving up. Astral Blessing, so there's the heal. And nothing's going to come of that. Pressure on the top lane. Kennen picks up a kill. Sorry we missed that one, guys. We're expecting a 4-man fight in the bottom lane. And sadly, nothing came of it. So, pretty good at the minute. 2-0 lead. A little over 1,000 gold difference in favor of logiX. And that is pretty much accredited to the first blood and the second kill, of course. So that's about 600 odd gold. Farm-wise at the minute, 69 for Graves to the 55 of MF. And it just looks as though logiX pulling ahead ever so slightly. There's the slow onto Soraka. Knock-up lands as well.
Shyvana's coming into bottom.
If Shyvana's going to jump in with her Dragon form.
Dragon form.
Waiting for Dragon. Beautiful bullet time from Misfortune. Soraka would have had to run through the entirety of that bullet time. It's kept the gold to 1,000. And if they can take a Dragon from this, it's going to balance them back out, but they're not opting to go for Dragon. I mean, normally you would do that. Normally, if you know you got the advantage in the bottom lane and you can see what's happening, you would have pushed up, but they decided not to.
Mordekaiser again stealing Nocturne's rates.
Mord's going to be able to pull quite far ahead. I mean, he's 13 CS, 12 CS ahead already. Look at that damage from Buckshot. Graves is just such a beast at the minute. Collateral damage almost picking up the kill. Misfortune's going to have to pop the Summoner heal. She opts not to. No Summoner heal from Mtosh. It's available. It's not on cooldown. And that's a rookie mistake. That really shouldn't have happened.
Nocturne finding Vlad up top.
He lands the Duskbringer. He's going to be able to catch up. Here comes the Sanguine Pool. Oh, no Sanguine Pool. Ghost from Vladimir, though. I don't know if Nocturne's going to be able to 1v1 a Shyvana. It doesn't look like it. Let's have a look at the items. Mord has now come up as well. And all of a sudden, this is becoming a very interesting fight. Pop up the items.
Galio and Kennen coming in.
Galio, if it's Galio Flash Idols, that's a brilliant, brilliant combination. Slicing Maelstrom plus Idol of Durand picks up the kill onto Mordekaiser. And they manage to chase down and pick up the kill on Shyvana. Really well played there by logiX. Great, great, great coordination. That Flash Idol caught both of them dead center. And sadly, it just looks as though the aggression from logiX is pulling them ahead. They're playing the players, not the champions. If that makes any sense. They're playing very, very aggressively. They're pushing the players of Portugal, even though the champions maybe, I think on the bottom lane there, Misfortune, they haven't played aggressively at all from what I've seen. They've been on the back foot. They've been at their own turret the entire time. And I think Graves has just been doing this on purpose. Graves has been shoving that lane, using that buckshot to his advantage.
logiX getting Dragon as well.
First Dragon going down. So what's that, 1140? Bullet time from Misfortune.
48, 11:49.
Paranoia is not available now for Nocturne. He's going to use his spell shield to get away. Janna using Monsoon. She's going to shove them back. There goes the Summoner heal. You see how the proc goes for the fear, and now all of a sudden they're going to turn around. Misfortune's going to regret using her ultimate to farm, that's for sure. Double up bouncing. She's used her impure shots as well, so the duration of that's been run out. And I tell you something, if Misfortune would have had a full bullet time there to place over the three of them, maybe would have been enough to put some damage down. Shyvana didn't have the red buff either, so there was no real CC in the lane, other than the knockup from Janna. And look at this damage now from Kenan. Kenan really in control of his lane. 92 CS to the 76. Yeah, was that Nocturne trying to invade?
Nocturne trying to invade, moving away from... Look at the harass on the Vlad at top as well. Kenan almost has two... he has a level and a half at least on this Vlad at this stage.
And look at the items. Look at the items. Kenan with the Wall of Ancients in the boots, as opposed to just the Hextech and Amp Tome. So, yeah, look, it's like 400 gold difference. But Misfortune and Janna not even able to stay in their lane. This is going to be the first turret kill. Buckshot going down. Collateral damage almost picking up the kill. Not enough to secure it, though. And Shyvana not willing to jump in. Now we got Galio Nocturne in the middle. Galio using his Righteous Blast is going to slow him down. Not going for the Durand. Because it's on cooldown. I need to keep an eye on that. Almost available. Kenan going for the kill onto Vlad. Landing a brilliant stun and just leaving the Ignite to finish him off. And I'm really happy to see that. Kenan should beat Vladimir in the lane. Kenan should be defeating that Blood Mage.
And it's interesting to see when we have a team fight, though, because Mordekaiser and Vlad both having the Will of the Ancients, that aura will stack for them.
That is true. And if you can combine the Hemo Plague from Vlad on a couple of champions and then match it up with a Mace of Spades from Mordekaiser, it might be a very powerful combo. But 5,000 gold behind, and look at the damage onto that Janna. Galio's sitting, and he doesn't even have any ability power items. Yeah, look, the Negatron Cloak does give him AP because of his passive. But huge damage going down onto that Janna. 2 abilities, just drops her by half health. We can assume that Negatron Cloak is going to be built into the likes of an Abyssal Scepter, which is going to, of course, reduce the magic resist of all of the players of Colld Gaming. 4,700 gold the difference. And what did we say Dragon was? Around 18 minutes, if memory serves? Or am I?
It'll be 17:55.
Alright, so
exact.
That's going to be when the next Dragon comes up. And I think that's going to be another decent team fight. Colld are going to have to contest it. If Colld give them another Dragon, it's really going to hurt. Look at the damage on Kenan's Q on that Thundering Shuriken. Really hitting hard. Maxing his Shuriken and then his Electrical Surge. There's 2 ways to build him. Technically, if you want to go for pure damage, it does work out more beneficial to max out your Lightning Rush, which is your E. But of course, it is a lot more risky because you have to get in melee range. And now we're going with the ultimate there from Nocturne. Nocturne is busy tanking turret damage. A short duration on Idol of Durand. But it is going to be enough to pick up a kill onto Shyvana. Great focus from...
Mordekaiser putting his ultimates on Galio in that fight.
It may have been a misclick, because the champions were really clumped up. But great focus from Graves, Nock, and Galio. They managed to hit Shyvana, who's meant to be the tanky one of the team. But look at the damage on that Mace of Spades. That's 1 W from Mordekaiser, and it took about 20% of Graves' life off. I mean, it really is hitting hard. But he does have Sorcerer's Shoes, and he does have... Will of the Ancients build up. Using his mace there to pop Nocturne's shield. I think he was just anticipating the shield to go off. And top lane, 2 levels difference. Kenan and
Very good of Misfortune there as well, while the fight was going down in mid, to take the opportunity to push the lane and get that global gold for a team. Just to try and help them get back into the game. 150 gold each is going to go a long way to helping them out.
Well, it adds up. I mean, there was a 6,000 gold lead. Now it's only about a 4,500. Unless my math is totally off. Let's actually have a look at the gold graphs. I'll pick the score back up. 6,000 on Graves to the 4,000 on Misfortune. That is a huge difference. Compliments of the 2 kills, 2 assists. We got pressure on the top lane now. Vladimir moving in. Electrical Surge from Kennen. That might even be able to get into safety. Exhaust goes down. Hemoplague is on as well. Kennen using his ultimate. Vladimir manages to dodge most of it. Hemoplague pops, and they just don't have the damage. There was no red buff on Shyvana, so Kennen could just pretty much walk away from it, even though he was exhausted. But combine that with Will of the Ancients and his Slicing Maelstrom, he just simply healed back any damage that had been put down onto him. Idol of Durand, almost available for Galio. He's got his Abyssal Scepter finished. And we've got to be very careful now because you've got Janna, Shyvana, and Maud sort of clumped up in the middle, surrounded by a few of the logiX players. Nothing going to come of it though. No, not enough wards of vision for anybody to really know what was going on. So we're looking at the gold graphs. Galio, 5,000 gold to the 4,600 of Mordekaiser. And that's compliments of the 2 dragons. And it'll go up a little bit more because of this next turret kill. Kennen should be able to pick it up. Top lane, 4,200 to Vlad to 5,700 on Kennen. That's a needlessly large rod. That's a really big advantage at the minute. So guys,
quite a defensive build on the Graves, considering how well him and his team are doing. To go with the Dorans and the Wriggles.
It could be for objective control. You know, having a double Wriggles means you take down dragons really quickly. And look at the damage. Paranoia. No Idol of Durand, not even needed. Nocturne. Galio opting to save his ultimate. Didn't even need it. Mordekaiser just being caught up. The Fear proc running him straight back into the Galio Nocturne combo. And that's now the gold lead at 6,000. With only an Abyssal Scepter, Galio is sitting on 175 magic resist. Huge damage on Shyvana. Shyvana just managing to break the proc of the Nocturne Fear. Dustbringer lands. Monsoon plus Summoner Heal does save Shyvana, and now all of a sudden Nocturne's the one in the back foot. A little bit out of position. The Idol of Durand only catching Misfortune. Almost enough to pick up a kill, but Nocturne was just too far away. If Nocturne had got 1 or 2 auto attacks down, that may have been enough to pick up a kill on Misfortune, but sadly it wasn't. A little bit over-aggressive. Galio ultimate for only 1. But you know what? They're ahead. They can afford to. So just going back to passive farming at the moment. This is going to be a mid-turret down.
logiX getting the 3rd turret of the game.
Ping some blue buff.
8k gold lead at 20 minutes. It's not insurmountable, but I think we need to see some more team fights because logiX are catching blue team out 1 or 2 at a time, and it's really starting to affect them.
Yeah, it is true. Colld Gaming from Portugal are just not really grouping up as effectively as they need to be. The general rule of thumb when it comes to gold is 10% difference. If there's about a 10% in it, so the leading team, 10% of the gold is 3,000. That's not too bad. 15%, it's starting to show. But at the 25% that we're looking at right now, it really is a big difference. And let's have a look at the items, actually. We haven't looked at the items in a while. Graves, Phantom Dancer Wriggles. That is a slightly more Cogmore build. It's normally what you'd see it on. As opposed to just a BF Sword and a Vamp Scepter. I mean, it's a huge difference when you consider the crit chance, the attack speed. Of course, it increases the armor that Graves has as well. Armor building, Graves building some armor to mitigate the auto attacks of Misfortune and mitigate some of that double up damage as well. Quite interesting to see it though, because Misfortune's the only real AD champion on the team. So, you are right, maybe should have gone for a slightly more aggressive, slightly higher damage build. 110 viewers on the stream at the minute. Welcome. This is the ESL Champions Club. It is a social cup playing for bragging rights. We're looking at logiX Gaming in the purple against Colld Gaming in the blue. My name is Quickshot, and joining me on Skype is Norsey. How you doing, Norseman?
Hey, Quickshot.
Are you happy? Are you happy that Galio's winning? Ultimate from Nocturne is jumping straight in. Flash is blown just to get out of the fear. Brilliant Idol of Durand, followed up by a Slicing Maelstrom, means that they just decimate the Portuguese side. Idol of Durand managing to catch 3 champions of the 4. Now Bullet Time almost picking up a kill onto Graves, but he pops a quick draw and flash. Gets out of range. Summoner heal used as well. It looked like a summoner heal anyway. Yeah, it was. It was Vladimir's heal. Manages to pick or save Misfortune's life. And what do you think of that Galio ultimate, Norsi?
It was a very good flash ultimate from Galio, using his Righteous Gust to get him up there a little bit faster so the flash could catch multiple targets. Just that shows how truly tanky he is. I mean, he tanked all three of those heroes and the turret and bullet time and still managed to get away. Yes, he had to use flash to do it, but I mean, that's what it's there for.
And it reduces 50% of incoming damage. I mean, 50% damage reduction is beyond epic. And yeah,
really
Sov goes pew. Is that Soviet Union goes pew? I don't know if it is, but it is now. It was a really good combination. What I like about it, for anybody that was paying attention to the timing, Kennen only popped his flash lightning rush once the Idol of Durand had been used. Kennen was hanging in the back. He was sitting on the back line. He was sitting by the turret. And only once the Idol of Durand had started did Kennen jump in there. What's the duration on Slicing Maelstrom? That is a... let's have a look. I think it's a 3-second cast. It doesn't even say... Every 0.4 stacks up... Yeah, I don't even know how long it lasts for. It doesn't say the liars. And I think Idol of Durand is 2 seconds. So Slicing Maelstrom does last slightly longer than the Idol. But really starting
also by chaining it one after the other, you get the taunt from the Idol of Durand and then the stun from the Kennen triple proc.
Yeah.
So you keep the enemy team CC'd for an extra second or two, which really in these big team fights is all you need.
You are 100% correct.
Graves getting his first best friend sword of the game.
Let's have a look at the damage actually. Sizey on Graves sitting 214 attack damage to the 200 of Misfortune. Misfortune opting not to finish the Bloodthirster, going for a pickaxe, and now doesn't even have a completed BF item at the 24-minute mark. Now, admittedly, neither does Graves, but he has gone for the Wriggles Phantom build, which is slightly more for objective control. Pick up more kills on Dragon, pick up more kills on Nasha, or faster kills on Dragon, faster kills on Nasha. That's the better way to look at it.
Interesting to look at the farm on the Kevin to the Kennen to the Vlad.
Well, what are the numbers?
It's 171 on the Vladimir to 181 on the Kennen, but the 3 kills and 3 assists on Kennen have given him such a huge item advantage with the finished Rylai's. And
don't forget, you're also forgetting 2 additional turrets and 2 additional dragons, and now the 3rd dragon as well.
That is true.
All of the map objectives are going to be paying to their, adding to their control. The only turret that logiX have lost, and look at this Kennen committing 1v3, not even afraid.
Didn't even look like they scratched him there either. Obviously, that was a heal from Soraka bringing him up. I'm surprised as well that we haven't seen an early Baron. There's pings going down for it.
Hell hath no fury like a Kennen scorn.
Shyvana was trying to push the top lane a little bit, but obviously seeing them coming or sensing them coming, he's opted to pull back, or she's opted to pull back. Colld Gaming really need to try and find themselves a decent team fight here where they can split the Kennen and the Galio up, or burst. Obviously, they would probably have to try burst the Kennen down, because Galio at this stage is going to be incredibly tanky.
Yeah, and it all stems from the first sort of 6-7 minutes where logiX just played super aggressively. They invaded Colld Gaming's blue buff. They stole their blue. They picked up a double kill. We got a Paranoia ultimate running straight onto Mordekaiser. Now the Fear proc's going to get off, and it runs him straight into the team. The rest of Colld Gaming leave him like a lamb to the slaughter, and that's going to trigger Baron. That's going to tell him, hey, it's 4 versus 5. We've got no Mordekaiser ultimate to deal with. We've got it's 4 versus 5 at the minute, and of course with not having that tanky up line, the only one up front will be a Shyvana. Colld Gaming now opting to push lanes, and I think that's a smart move. They can't contest Baron. They can't really win a straight-up team fight. So why not take the small advantages you can, and they're not even going to be able to do that. Galio just runs back, and he should have enough gold with this Baron out to finish off his death cap, and he does. So that's going to be a death cap on Galio. He hasn't even gone defensive, other than his Abyssal, which is partial, but...
I think we're seeing from Galio what I was talking about Graves' options or Graves' items earlier is he's opting to go for just pure damage because his team is up, and I mean even at this stage that if they lost the team fight he could probably still come back to building those defensive items.
Yeah, and it's true. Looking at it the minute, Galio's going to push this bottom lane. He's going to make sure that the creeps are pushing in favor of purple team, in favor of logiX. And of course, there's the death cap now completed. Nocturne has his frozen mallet, wriggles, and a Negatron cloak. We'll have to see what that Negatron goes into. Probably a Banshee's Veil. That would be the most logical choice. Nocturne now stealing the blue buff as well.
And it looks like he's going to try to push top lane.
And look at that damage from Kennen. One shuriken, one electrical surge. Takes off a third of the hit points from Misfortune. And look at the crits as well. 540 damage critical hits from Graves. He's almost max level, 2 levels ahead of Misfortune. All of that from the laning phase. Although saying that, MF does finally have a Infinity Edge built. Along with her impure shots, she's going to have a decent attack speed, but no crit chance, unluckily. And huge damage going down. Collateral damage is popped. Summoner heal blown. Idol of Duran catches 3. Misfortune goes down to a paranoia from Galio. Die from Kennen. Is enough damage to pick up the Vladimir. And this is going to be the first inhibitor of the game. Flash is being blown. That tells me a surrender vote is happening. And there's the surrender. Really well played by the German side of logiX. They controlled the game right from the beginning. And there were some chats right at the beginning saying that it all came down to 2,000 elo facing off against 6,000 elo. So let's pull up the game screen scores. There they are. Congratulations to logiX, victorious for their first game. I'm going to quickly add them as friends. Norse, can you add a couple other guys as friends as well? Just make sure we jump into the next game. I'd like to follow logiX. I just need to do a quick reboot. So, add you to their friends list. Awesome. I've got 1 or 2 of them on board. So what I'm going to do in the meantime, guys, is congratulate logiX for winning round number 3 of the Champions Club. I'm going to stop my